We are now ready to run analysis. Go to the Analysis tab, click Building Analysis. The first tab is the Pre-Analysis. This is where main assumptions of the analysis can be defined. Pick Project Parameters. The first tab is the Code of Practice. This is the code of practice that is inherited from the project template we have chosen when the model is started. You can click to change, or select code, if desired. Foundations tab. The allowable stress of soil will be used in the foundation design, such as the pad footing. Soil vertical subgrade coefficient will be used in the finite element raft foundation analysis. Lateral load tab. Here you can define the notional horizontal load or equivalent horizontal loads. Lateral drift. Defines the bracing conditions of columns and walls. Sway amplification coefficients. This will be automatically calculated after the analysis, based on the sway classification of the structure. Come back here to check the values again after the analysis. If you check user define, you can apply the factors manually. Title. These parameters affect all the reports produced. Click Close to exit, without saving any changes. Before running the analysis, the load cases and load combinations must be generated. Pick Loading Combination to launch the Load Combination Editor. You can add new load cases manually, and then load combinations. However, it is easiest just to use the loading generator, to automatically set up load cases and combinations. Pick Loading Generator. The Automatic Loading Editor dialog will appear. At the top, there is option to create different combinations for steel member design. Since there are only concrete members, leave this option unticked. Use cracked sections in all load cases. If this option is checked, section stiffness factors, that are set in the Material and Section Effective Stiffness Factors dialog, will be applied for all load cases. Leave this unticked. Under Vertical Load Combinations tab, you can choose options for dead and life loads, including pattern or load arrangements. Different permutations of load arrangements are available. For rigorous analysis, check all the options. Go to the Horizontal Load Combinations. For simplicity, we are only going to generate the notional loading. If used cracked sections is ticked, then section stiffness factors will be applied, which are set up in the Material and Section Effective Stiffness Factors dialog. Click OK. All the load cases and combinations will automatically be generated. The columns are the load cases. The rows are the load combination. The load combination name can be changed by typing over it. The load factors are automatically generated based on chosen loading code. You can change the factors by directly typing in the cell box. The life load reduction column allows you to consider or not consider life load reduction for certain load combination. The R/C column stands for reinforced concrete design. If checked, that combination will be considered in the design of the member. Steel column works the same way. Only combination checked will be considered in the steel member design. At the bottom, you can add or delete a load combination. Click Load Case. The Load Case dialog will appear. This allows you to examine or change the load case parameters in more detail. There are a total of 16 load cases generated. You add, or delete, or edit the load case. Select load case number 3. Click Edit, or double-click on it. This description shows that this is a vertical load case, and it is pattern life load case. More details can be set in below. Click Cancel. Click Cancel again. Click OK, to save, and exit the load combination editor. Wind and Story Load. This is where you can automatically generate wind loads, review and input any lateral load, such as the notional horizontal load. In order to use the wind load calculator, wind load cases and combinations must be generated. You can also import wind loads from CSV file. The format samples are in the sample folders in the Protolib folder, by default installed in My Documents. You can also click Show Reference Wind Load Table, for a sample. In the table below, you can check and, or enter the lateral load values, for each story. Click on the plus sign to expand. The notional or equivalent horizontal load are shown. Currently the magnitude of the forces are 0, these values can only be calculated and shown after the analysis. Hence come back and check these values after the analysis. The x and y columns are coordinates of the application of the force, which is also the center of the floor diaphragm. Click Cancel to exit this dialog. The preview of default materials, such as concrete and steel grades, are shown in the table. This can be reviewed in more detail, or changed, by clicking Edit Material. In the Edit Materials dialog, default materials will be used for superstructure. Foundation floor materials will only be used for foundation elements. If a particular story requires a unique material, you can click on plus sign to add story having different material. Example Story 1, OK. Delete it, as we are not using this. Select Default Material. In the right table shows concrete grades, steel grades, and the rebar diameter. Click on any concrete grade. In the concrete dialog, you can change the concrete grade. The properties of the concrete are shown on the right side. You can add a new concrete grade as well by clicking on the plus sign. The selected concrete grade will be duplicated, and you can proceed to change the properties. Note, right at the bottom is an option to apply to all members of this material class in this story to ease of application. Click Cancel to exit, without any changes. Click any steel grade. This dialog works the same way as the concrete material dialog. You can change the steel grade, add a new grade if necessary. Review the steel grade properties. Click Cancel to exit, without any changes. Click Rebar Diameters. Check rebar diameters that you wish to use in the concrete design. After reviewing, click Cancel to exit, without any changes. Click Cancel to close the material dialog, without any changes.